Hello, friends. How are you doing? So, naturally, since I'm uncomfortable, I slept for a little bit, maybe a couple hours. And I woke up and I was hungry. I was like, I better eat now because if I can't eat later, I'm gonna regret not eating. Um, and I'm just laying here uncomfortable, and has gotten progressively worse. I wanted to say something because since I'm on my last days of life. I'm just kidding. I'm just like I really shouldn't be saying that. That was just a joke. No. Whenever you're just very uncomfortable and like something like like I'm just waiting, to go to the hospital. You start thinking, the worst. That's why I said that. Okay. So I do want to mention something, and usually I hold back on my spirituality. With the little bit that I have said, I just tell y'all some. I just let it out little by little, because letting it out all at once, people look at me sideways. But I do want to say that this was predicted in the tarots, that I was going to have that I was going to have an illness that was coming up, and that I was going to have an operation. So that's also why um I kind of know where it's going to go, but I don't know if it's this or if this is, if it's going to bring up other problems. I don't know. But I did know I was going to have medical issues this year. So just wanted to let you know that. So I'm surprised, but not surprised. You know what I mean? I'm surprised because usually there's nothing wrong with me. I'm very low maintenance. So that did throw me off, but I knew it. That's why I wasn't like completely like, oh my God, because I knew it was coming. So, also another thing, um, you know, there were a lot of people, or a good amount of, like, people that didn't like me, or they probably still don't like me. I don't care. And they were wishing harm on me. Okay. And, so, you know, people, when they don't like you, this is something you need to know about energy. Okay. Even if people don't do, and I've been meaning to say this like for months. Okay. People that, um, what the hell was that? I hope that was my dog because he sleeps by my window. Oh, people, the way energy works. Because I always say, I mean, I don't always say, but whenever people wish you harm, um, it doesn't have to be like a spell, like spell work, black magic, or anything like that. Um, it's just their ill intent, like just them thinking badly about you. And that's why you have to keep yourself protected at all times. Okay. Um, and that's just with negative thoughts, because the mind is very powerful, people. The mind, oh, is very powerful, and you have to remember that. Um, and one of the things I've learned, which earlier I was being petty, okay? I have my days and my moments, okay? I'm only human. Okay, so I was minding my own business, okay, as per usual. And my son has his own TikTok, okay? It's under mine. It's under my other phone. Um and it's an Android phone. I have this iPhone and then I have an Android, okay? The Android has another account for the TikTok, okay? And what do you call it? My son, that's the one my son uses, okay? And somebody commented on his on his TikTok video because he makes videos, right? It's called Be Queen of Hearts. And If you're just in case you're wondering, that's my son. So somebody commented who doesn't even reach out to him, right? But they're like commenting like they miss him and stuff like that. So I was being petty and I'm like, well, why don't you call him? Why don't you visit him? I was like, B, cut it out. So I deleted it. I tweeted and deleted. Because I'm just like, what's wrong with me? Why is this happening to me? So no F's, no F's were given. So, anyways, so my biggest fear in life that I did have, okay, before this journey, okay, is passing away and leaving my children behind motherless. Okay. I don't know if I've ever said that, but that's always been my fear. Okay. But right now, knowing what I might have or what I don't have, I'm jumping to conclusions or whatever, um, the only reason I do that is just to prepare myself mentally. That's how that's how I have to process things because um in my last relationship I was ignored so much and I wasn't given any attention at all. That's why I require a lot. I require a lot of attention, because I was ignored so much, by my last relationship. Okay. So I learned how to cope by myself. That's why I do things, I'll just do things by myself then, when people try to play, with me emotionally, it's easier for I'm just like I'm already used to being treated like that. And I made the conscious decision that I'm not going to be treated like that. And that if anybody else comes to me and they want to be confusing me or playing these mind games with me, I'm not even going to entertain it. Because and because I'm basically not going to be stuck in the same situation that I was in before. Okay, if I notice like a pattern, okay, if I notice like behaviors from my exes, because I tell you, I attract the same kind of people, and if I notice that, I won't even entertain it, because I'm just gonna find myself in the same cycles, in the same karmic cycles with the same type of person. And I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to, as much as it hurts me, I'm not, because I'm worth way more than that. I know my value now. Before, when I allowed that behavior, I didn't know what the hell I was worth. I didn't know I was this diamond in a rough. Okay, maybe not a diamond, maybe a cubic zirconia, but you know what I mean. Like I don't know. Like I just feel like I'm worth more than that. And if somebody isn't going to give me their time or effort, then I shouldn't give them mine either. It's equal give and take, baby doll. It's equal give and take, you know? So that's what I was thinking. Okay. So that's where I made changes, right? Because now, okay, so now this is happening to me, right? I don't know if it's anything big or it's anything minor, but now I'm thinking, I'm honestly, if something were to happen to me, you know, sadly, it would be sad. Would be very sad because that's my fear, leaving my children behind without a mother. But my daughter is so very independent and self-sufficient. She, I know, will take care of my son, her brother, um, responsibly. She's very responsible. And she has lived on her own already. So the way things have worked out in life, um, would prepare her for that, you know? So I would be proud of that, that I wouldn't have to worry about him. Sorry. I wouldn't worry, but I'm just like, it does make me sad though. Because it is a possibility that I went through a spiritual awakening just for me to, die. You know what I mean? Like that is possible. I mean, it is. It might be. Maybe that was just what I was supposed to do, just, you know, become spiritually awakened just so I can cross over, you know? I mean, and honestly, before I was afraid of death, um, I was just because I didn't know, but now I understand it more. You know what I mean? Like I know more about how when you when you die, like what happens, you know? So I'm not afraid of it because I know it's, you know, it's a part of life. But before I was very afraid of it. 'Cause like, oh my gosh, if I die, you know, like I would always say that. I would say that all the time, you know, but I guess that's why any time that I had like well, I never do get sick. I really don't. There's never anything wrong with me. I'm, you know, pretty healthy. Um, so I don't know. I called my boss and I told him that I can't go in at 6. Holds my calls, I won't be there. He's like, bitch. Oh my gosh. It just hurts really bad. It's starting to get worse too, like within these couple hours. But, oh yeah, what I was saying about my ex ignoring me all the time. Okay. So my ex would ignore me all the time. And anytime like, if I was feeling sick, one time I had this really bad earache. Like, it was like I thought I was going to lose my hearing. That's how bad it was. Like, one day, like, my ear was hurting, like, so bad, right? And I was crying. A thug was crying. I tried. This is when I wasn't crying. Remember, I blocked off the crying, you know, for a long time, for years and years and years. So I was actually crying that time, and she just was like, "So what do you want to do? Like, are you gonna go to the hospital?" Like, no. Like, oh, are you okay? Are you all right? Nothing, nothing. Okay, but I will say, last year, because last year around this time, we're still living together. Remember? Okay, so I'll give her kudos for this. Okay, because I don't want to throw her completely under the bus. Okay. So I have a really bad anemia, okay? And I was going through a lot emotionally, um, like just in general, okay? My depression was really, really bad. And I was I was so because I wasn't eating at all, okay? And like I had zero, like no appetite, none. I could barely eat anything, barely. Um, I was just going through an emotional like breakdown, you know? Like I was finna lose it. Right? And she knows about my anemia. She knows about that. And it can get really bad, right? So I was literally like I couldn't get out of bed because of course you're not eating, you're not getting your vitamins, right? But I just couldn't eat, you know? I just couldn't do it. Just the thought of it made me want to vomit, you know? And so I was so, so sick. And I guess it freaked her out because I never, ever get sick, not to where I can't get out of bed. Anytime like I was not feeling good, I still did my duties and worked and everything, you know? So I think when she saw me like in bed, and it was like around, oh my gosh, it was like around this time. Yeah, it was about this time. Yes. Okay. It was about this time last year. That's crazy, right? And now here I am sick again. It's my annual it's my annual illness. No. Okay, no, this is completely different than that. Okay, so yeah, it was about this time last year. Yeah, because it was like at the beginning of the school year. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. It's crazy how I mean, a year just flew by, huh? Okay, so I was knocking on death's door. Okay, I couldn't get out of bed. And I was just like laying here, like freaking rewriting my will. No, I'm just kidding. And she actually like looked up, l- like she was so freaked out that I was that sick that I couldn't get out of bed. And I honestly don't even know what it was. But my, like, it was like like my head, like, I don't know, it was everything. It was like, I felt like I was dying. Like I couldn't get up. When I would get up, I was dizzy. And what else was wrong with me? I can't even remember what it was, but all she did, she just like, because she takes vitamins for her, she has MS. So she gave me, I think, vitamins. She gave me some vitamins. I don't know what it was. And then she gave me, I don't know what the fuck. She gave me something. I honestly don't even remember because that's how out of it I was. But I felt like I was like, I it's hard to explain because I never felt like that. And I just remember feeling really weak, and then when I would sit up, I would black out. It was weird. And I've never been like that. I didn't even tell my mom, like I didn't tell anybody because I wasn't really talking to them. So nobody knew. Like I could have died and like nobody would have known. Um well, I mean she would have told them, but but and she gave me like a cocktail of vitamins and I was like fine. Like I was okay. Like a couple of days later, like I was fine. Like I was like back to normal, like instantly. So it was weird. So I will give her kudos for that. She did like, and I was like I said, I was almost like dying. Like I was just like there. Like I don't know, it was weird. I never felt like that before. And if that's what death feels like that's what the fuck it was. Cause I couldn't get up, and so much so that somebody that ignored me all the time actually like looked something up like to help me, because she knew I wasn't gonna go to the ER. Cause I don't do that unless I really have to, like today. So yeah. Anyways, well, I'll let you go. I think I'm done talking. I'm just like really nervous because I don't know what's gonna happen. But I already called into work. I told them I'm not gonna make it, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I'm alive later. I'm just kidding. Goodbye.